Welcome back to Soft Spoken Storytime, Episode 31, continuing on with SCP-001. Codename, Not a Seagull, The Sky Above the Port. SCP-001 Technical Clearance Required. This document exists as technical containment for an anomaly and thus does not adhere to standard SIPnet formatting. Input 5 Technical Clearance to proceed. Input Personal Identification Number verified. The sky above Point Alpha during a breach of SCP-001. Item number SCP-001, Object Class Ontokinetic. Containment Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. If the sky begins changing color with no prior stimuli or indication, all Foundation sites are to go onto Alert Level 7 immediately. Personnel at Site 5 and Site 6 are to enter Alert Level 8 and begin evaluating new methods of containing SCP-001. Site 5 has been constructed around Point Alpha. Procedure 001 entry is in effect to contain SCP-001-1. A monitor containing document 032, as well as a speaker reading the document, are to be placed at least 5 meters away from SCP-001-1. If SCP-001-1 swells up to 2 meters or more in diameter, the speed of the narration is to increase. This system is to have a direct cable link to the Foundation SIPnet database at Site 6, and several redundant power generators are to ensure this system stays operational at all times. Description: SCP-001 is an ongoing ZK-class reality failure scenario. SCP-001 is prevented from happening through several procedures manipulating its sub-anomalies. The only known observable symptom of SCP-001 is the sky becoming a different color. It is believed that if SCP-001 were to progress to the point where other symptoms began to occur, it would become irreversible. SCP-001-1 is a levitating object contained within Point Alpha, a cave chamber 5 kilometers south of the ruins of Babylon. SCP-001-1 visually resembles a perfectly smooth sphere within a texture similar to blurred television static. Measurement instruments indicate SCP-001-1 is currently 0.73 meters, 0.66 meters, 1.54 meters, 0.95 meters, 0.87 meters in diameter. Solids and liquid that pass within the bounds of SCP-001-1 are replaced entirely with argon gas, giving the illusion of disappearing. SCP-001-2 is an entity that is capable of being seen within Point Alpha. SCP-001-2's manifestations are random. Witnesses report seeing SCP-001-2 past the walls of the cave. From description of eyewitnesses, SCP-001-2 is humanoid in shape and large in stature, and is only visible when looking through SCP-001-1. Descriptions of SCP-001-2 vary from person to person. Common features include an emaciated figure, long limbs, and prominent facial features. SCP-001-2 takes the position of lying against the wall. It is most often seen with a neutral expression. However, the expression occasionally changes to discomfort or bliss. It has been determined from historical precedent that entertaining SCP-001-2 through SCP-001-1 will prevent SCP-001. Point Alpha shortly after it was acquired by the Foundation, with Agent Samuel and Boys performing preliminary evaluation. SCP-001-1 not visible. History. Point Alpha and its contents are believed to date back to prehistory. Babylonian scripts indicate that SCP-001-1 was routinely patrolled by a group of sages known as the Order of the White and Black, who refused passage to anyone who could demonstrate the ability to read or write. This group was made defunct by the rise of Achaemenid Persia, which contained SCP-001-1 with a group of Zoroastrian monks. Very few accounts of SCP-001-1 are present. Recovered accounts assert that all information about SCP-001-1 and its significance was passed orally. The most substantial account of SCP-001-1 and SCP-001-2 at this time dates back to the Greek philosopher Zira, who made an expedition into the Achaemenid Empire and found Point Alpha. During Alexander of Macedon's conquest of the Achaemenid Empire, he took interest in Zira's texts and continued the Achaemenid containment of SCP-001-1. However, this new institution, known as the Kronos Guard, was given Greek epics to read in order to punish Kronos for his actions. This institution lasted through the partition of Macedon into the Seleucid Empire, the rise of the Sassanid Empire, and even the formation of the Rashidun Caliphate. The Kronos Guard were eventually replaced with an Islamic equivalent, the Society for the Containment of the Babel Demon. This group was the first to perform substantial research on SCP-001-1 and the first to accurately link SCP-001 to SCP-001-1. The Society was eventually absorbed into the Office for the Reclamation of Islamic Artifacts, who assumed containment of SCP-001-1 after Incident 001-Exile. The Foundation purchased Point Alpha from Oriya for a large sum of currency and several safe-class anomalies. View attachment. Excerpts from the Notes of the Society for the Containment of the Babel Demon. Literature read. Literature read. The first quatrain of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. Result. Demon squirms but otherwise does not react, consistent with reading of Homer's epics by the Kronos Guard. Literature read. The remaining quatrains of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. Result. No changes from observed behavior. Literature read. A poem written by Guardian Muhammad ibn Buyai, meant explicitly for demon. Result. Demon thrashes more than usual until the cessation of the reading. ORB begins to expand until the genealogies of the nobles is read to demon. Records from the Society for the Containment of the Babel Demon recovered in the early 19th century within Oriya archives. Literature read. None for 10 days. Result. ORB is observed to expand, and demon is observed to thrash. Externally, the sky above the camp is noted to turn a darker red color until the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam is read again. Literature read. Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. Result. Demon thrashes more than during previous readings of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. It is believed that the Quran may no longer have an effect on the demon. Literature read. 1001 Nights. Result. Demon ceases thrashing. New literature may be necessary to prevent further phenomena from occurring. Incident 001-Exile. Note. Some documentation taken from Oriya's account of Incident 001-Exile. On 2020-10-30, personnel with Oriya read the book Tafsir al-Alam al-Kabir, or Great Book of Interpretation of Dreams, as per normal containment of SCP-001-1. However, SCP-001-2 was observed to rapidly thrash while screaming. SCP-001-1 itself swelled from 50.3 centimeters to 3.2 meters in diameter. Shortly following this event, SCP-001 began to worsen. The sky worldwide turned a black/white color, similar to the texture of SCP-001-1. In addition, reality-bending phenomena began worldwide, causing deformed geography, the manifestation of dangerous anomalous objects, and several natural disasters. This event was ended after ORIA personnel read SCP-001-1, an undisclosed number of as-of-yet unread books, which caused SCP-001-2 to stop thrashing and SCP-001 to restore to its pre-incident point. However, the damage caused by this incident was deemed enough to require an activation of SCP-2000. This prompted the Foundation to take control of containment of SCP-001. See History segment above for more information. Input Level 5/001 Credentials. Access granted. During Incident 001 Alpha, vocalizations in Davish were recorded by ORIA instruments within Point Alpha. The source is presently unknown. The following are approximate translations of these vocalizations. It has passed some space/time. The unknown Gera has passed. It has had/used to be fun. It is time/space to leave. You cannot stay/root/hold yourself forever. The unknown Gera has passed. You must/will awaken. No, you have entered/re-entered slumber for too long. Wake up. King/prince/loved one, it is time for you to wake up. It is fun to be in the unknown Gera, but you cannot be in/rooted there forever/unending. It is entertaining/death-like, but you must wake up. Wake up, King/prince/loved one. We miss you. Addenda. Input Level 5/001 Clarence. Discussion Thread 001-398 Continued Containment. Started on 2021-10/30. Started by HMCL Robinson. HMCL Robinson. The usage of this thread will be for containment directives for SCP-001. In the past year that we have spent containing it, SCP-001-1's literature needs have become increasingly draconic. We can very rarely reread books without it beginning to thrash, and even then we're running out of high-quality literature to give it. We need a more long-term reliable solution for containment. SCP-001's file has been temporarily opened up to all personnel with Level 2 clearance. Anybody can submit an idea. Proposal. Use artificial intelligence constructs to automatically generate new stories for SCP-001-2. Status. Approved. Result. TSATPWTCOTTTADC.AIC was able to generate 10,000 volumes of stories imitating Greek literature. However, when the first was read to SCP-001-1, it began thrashing beyond acceptable measures until it was read approved reading. No further computer-generated works are to be given to SCP-001-1. Proposal. Hire a full team of authors to create literature for SCP-001-1. Status denied. Reason. In the past, literature written specifically for SCP-001-1 have failed to contain it. See SCTBD document number 249. With SCP-001-2's current state, this is not to be attempted again. Proposal. Read main list documentation for SCP-blank to SCP-001-1. Status denied. Reason. This could represent a possible information leak. Test denied. Proposal. Read main list documentation for SCP blank to SCP-001-1. Status approved. Reason. With SCP-001-2's recent containment breach, these measures are approved. Result. SCP-001-2 observed to stop thrashing and stay completely still, seemingly smiling. In addition, SCP blank was able to be read for 14 consecutive readings before SCP-001-2 resumed normal activity. Proposal. Regularly read main list documentation for SCP-001-1. Status approved. Proposal. Replacement of the SCP-001 file with several 001 proposals, with much more grand implications than normal SCP files. Status approved. Result. By only occasionally reading 001 files, SCP-001-2 is observed to be more calm on average. The previously observed actions of retaliation in response to specially crafted literature do not apply here. Proposal. Expansion of the SCP series beyond SCP-999 and declassification of several unnumbered SCP objects in these slots. Status approved. Proposal. Given the variation of the current 2,957 SCP main list files, SCP-001-1 is to be read a random arrangement of these files in repeat. Status approved. Result. This strategy succeeded for approximately 3 years, allowing for several repeats. However, on 2024-9/30, SCP-001-2 began thrashing rapidly, requiring newer documentation to sedate. Proposal. Expansion of the SCP series beyond SCP-4999 and declassification of several unnumbered SCP objects into these slots. Status denied. Reason. SCP-001-1 has required progressively more SCP main list articles for containment, even to the point of the fabrication of some anomalous entities. Proposal. Rewriting of several older SCP main list files to be more exaggerated and narrative-like. Status tentatively approved. Note: deliberately exaggerating our files for the purpose of this entity is crossing some lines, but for now it will have to do. However, we need a better way. I'm calling a committee. We need to put a stop to this. Proposal. Creation of a file describing SCP-001 that uses recursion to effectively be never-ending. Psychoanalysis related to SCP-001-2's apparent enjoyment of works implies a slight ego and bias towards works about itself. And past strategies with this idea have worked for long periods of time. File is to be archived as a technical file. Status approved. Result. Procedure 001 entry implemented immediately. Data expunged. Input level 5, technical clearance. The page then repeats. Presumably, forever.